Hello and welcome back to the lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to study the VRIO framework criteria, that is a strategic analytical tool designed to help organizations assess the competitive potential of their internal resources and capabilities. The VRIO analysis is a framework that organizations can use as a strategic analytical tool to help them assess the competitive potential of their internal resources and capabilities. This tool evaluates resources and capabilities based on 4 key criteria. The first criteria is value. Value. This V stands for value. The question that is answered here is, does the resource or capability enable the organization to exploit opportunities and neutralize threats? Does the resource or capability help the organization to exploit opportunities or neutralize threats? When evaluating resources, the first criteria is to look at the value. Does the resource, for example, a building or any other resource, equipment, or intangible assets like brand reputation and all that, does the resources enable the organization to exploit opportunities or neutralize threats? So valuable resources and capabilities contribute to the firm's efficiency and effectiveness, allowing it to create value for customers and outperform the competitors. And vice versa. And vice versa here means that resources that are not valuable do not contribute to the firm's efficiency and effectiveness. The second criteria is rarity. This R stands for rarity, from the word rare. The question that is answered here is the resource or capability currently controlled by a few firms or no other firms? Is the resource or capability controlled by a few firms or no firms? Is the resource rare? Is the resource unique to the company, or can other companies replicate the same resource? Can the resource be copied by the other companies, or is it just unique to the organization? That is the question that is answered here. Such that rare resources and capabilities are not easily available to the competitors, giving the firm a temporary competitive advantage. You understand? When analyzing resources, you look at the uniqueness. Does the company enjoy monopoly of access to the resource or capability, or the resource can be copied by other companies? Then this I stands for inimitability. 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 Is the resource or capability difficult for competitors to imitate? Is the resource or capability difficult for the competitors to imitate? Is the resource or capability difficult for the competitors to imitate? You understand? Because inimitable resources and capabilities are those that are hard to copy due to their unique historical development, due to their unique social complexity, and so on. So when analyzing resources using the VRIO analysis tool, you check the inimitability. This is the third criteria, inimitability. Then this O stands for organization. Organization. And the question that is answered here is the firm organized to exploit the full potential of the resource? Is the firm organized to utilize the resource to its full potential? Is the firm organized in such a way that it can utilize the resource to its full potential? That's the question that is answered when analyzing the resources and capabilities based on organization. Is it organized to exploit the full potential of the resource? So organization support here refers to the company's ability to effectively utilize and manage its valuable, its rare, and inimitable resources and capabilities. And that includes having appropriate structures. Being organized means having appropriate processes, procedures, systems, also culture in place to be able to utilize a resource to its full potential. So these are the 4 criteria that can be used by an organization to analyze resources and capabilities. 1, value. 2, rarity. 3, inimitability. 4, organizational support. So, candidates, I'm now going to explain how the VRIO analysis tool is used in practice, how it is systematically applied in evaluating each resource and capability against the 4 criteria, how the analysis is used. So I'll answer the question on how to use the VRIO analytical tool. Now, candidates, If a resource is not valuable, it is considered a weakness and should be addressed or eliminated. So number one, I've just said, if a resource or capability is not valuable, if a resource or capability is not valuable, it is considered a weakness. If not valuable, it is considered a weakness. If a resource is not valuable, if by not being valuable means if the resource or capability does not help the organization to exploit opportunities or neutralize threats. That's what we discussed here. So if it is not valuable, then it is considered a weakness and it should be addressed or eliminated. That means if it is not in good condition, then it has to be improved or it has to be eliminated. It has to be eliminated if it is not valuable. But if a resource is valuable but not rare, a resource can be valuable but not rare. If a resource is valuable but not rare, what does that mean? If a resource is valuable but it is available to competitors, that's what it means by not being rare. It leads to what we call competitive parity. It leads to competitive parity. If a resource is valuable but not rare, it leads to what we call competitive parity, meaning the firm is on par with competitors. Competitive parity then means that the firm is at par or on par with competitors because it is not rare. Other competitors, the competitors have the same resource. You understand? Then number three, another scenario is that we may have a resource or a capability that is valuable and rare. Valuable and rare. We may have a valuable resource, at the same time, it is rare. Valuable and rare. We may have a resource or capability that is valuable and rare. That means it provides a temporary competitive advantage. This one provides a temporary competitive advantage. A resource that is valuable and rare provides a temporary competitive advantage. A temporary competitive advantage. A temporary competitive advantage. But the firm must continuously innovate and improve to maintain it. If it is providing a temporary competitive advantage, then it means the firm must continuously upgrade it, continuously improve on it, so that the asset or a resource can be maintained. Then the fourth scenario or way to use this tool is in a situation where a resource is capable or valuable. A resource may be valuable, it may be rare, It may also be imitable. You understand? A resource may be valuable, it may be rare, and difficult to imitate. That means not inimitable, difficult to imitate. Such a resource leads to sustained competitive advantage. This one leads to sustained competitive advantage. A resource that is valuable, meaning the resource can help the organization exploit opportunities and neutralize threats. Or the resource may be rare, meaning it is unique to the company, or not inimitable, or meaning difficult to imitate. Such a resource, we say, leads to sustained competitive advantage. It leads to a sustained competitive advantage, providing the firm with long-term edge over the rivals. You understand? Then there is the fifth way. A resource can be valuable, rare, inimitable, I want you to watch this. It can be valuable, rare, inimitable. That means not inimitable, supposed to be not inimitable. Or let me just use the normal words, not difficult. Or difficult, that is difficult to imitate. A resource can be valuable, rare, it can be difficult to imitate, and the firm is organized to exploit it. And the firm is organized to exploit it. And the firm is organized to exploit it. The firm is organized to exploit it. In this case, we say it results in a sustained competitive advantage that is difficult for competitors to overcome. This one leads to sustained competitive advantage that is difficult for competitors to overcome. It leads to a sustained competitive advantage that is difficult for competitors to overcome. You understand? If a resource or capability is valuable, it is rare, is difficult to imitate, and the firm is organized, to exploit, and the firm is organized to exploit it, then that leads to a sustained competitive advantage that is difficult for competitors to overcome. You understand? Here we talked about the asset or resource or capability that is valuable. This one, valuable, rare, and difficult to imitate. This one only leads to sustained competitive advantage. But the difference between 4 and 5 is that the sustained competitive advantage in the fourth scenario is difficult for competitors to overcome because it is valuable, rare, difficult to imitate, and the farm is organized to exploit the resource. Here in 4, the farm is not organized to exploit it. So do you understand, candidates? This is how to use the VRIO framework. The VRIO framework this is how it is applied by systematically evaluating each resource and capability against the 4 criteria of value, rarity, inimitability, and organizational support. First, we have said that a resource and capability may not be valuable. If a resource is not valuable, then it is considered a weakness. And if it is considered a weakness, then it should be done away with, to be eliminated, or the weakness should be addressed. The second point, we've said that a resource can be valuable but not rare, meaning the competitors have access to the same resource. So that leads to a competitive parity. It leads to competitive parity, which means that the firm is on par with the competitors. Number 3, a resource can be valuable and rare. That is to say that the resource or capability provides a temporary competitive advantage. Number 4, a resource or capability can be valuable, rare, and difficult to imitate, but it may not be organized in such a way as to utilize the resource to its full potential. So that one only leads to sustained competitive advantage. It leads to sustained competitive advantage, providing the firm with long-term edge over rivals, just long-term. But in number 5, a resource may be valuable, rare, difficult to imitate, and the firm may organize it to exploit its potential. Such a resource leads to sustained competitive advantage that is difficult for competitors to overcome. It is difficult for competitors to overcome. Now, in closing, we're going to discuss the benefits or advantages of the VRIO analysis. The benefits or advantages of the VRIO analysis. The first advantage is that this analysis helps to identify sources of competitive advantages. 1, the analysis helps to identify sources of competitive advantage. It helps organizations to pinpoint their unique strengths and understand how they contribute to their competitive position. Because remember, every asset is analyzed based on the 4 criteria: value, rarity, imitability, and organizational support. 2, it guides resource allocation. VRIO analysis guides resource allocation, provides insights on where to invest resources in order to strengthen and develop key resources and capabilities. It helps in guiding resource allocation. 3, it can be used to support VRIO analysis can support decision making, can support strategic decision making, because it informs decisions about which markets to enter, which products or services to offer, and how to differentiate from the competitors. It can support strategic decision making. Strategic decision making. Number 4, enhances organizational effectiveness. Video analysis can enhance organizational effectiveness because it encourages the development of structures, processes, systems that support the optimal utilization of resources and capabilities. You can recall, like in the first criteria, we said that if a resource is considered a weakness, then that resource should be done away with, or it should be improved so that it is valuable. So it helps in enhancing organizational effectiveness. So that is all, candidates, as for the VRIO analysis. And it's important to note that by systematically applying the VRIO framework, organizations can gain deep understanding of the internal strengths, the internal weaknesses, which then enables them to make informed decisions that can lead to sustained competitive advantage in the long run. Sustained competitive advantage that is difficult for competitors to overcome. Assignment 1. How does the VRIO framework help companies assess the competitive potential of their resources and capabilities? 2. Explain the 4 criteria of the VRIO framework and their significance in determining competitive advantage. 3. Provide examples of resources and capabilities that might be considered valuable but not rare, or rare but not valuable. 4. How can a company utilize the VRIO framework to make strategic decisions about resource allocation and development? Thank you for taking time to attend this lesson. In our next session, we are going to discuss organizational knowledge as a basis of competitive advantage. Bye-bye.